Okay, what do we got? We got the Roid Renaissance, the UK's steroid epidemic, high society. Like, what does that mean right there? A high society. To be able to abuse or use and abuse steroids is that like you have to be part of the upper crust of society? Is that what that means? I don't know. Let's see.
You can go into any single gym and buy steroids within 5 minutes of being in there.
If you train properly, diet properly, take this shit,
That is actually probably true. And if you've never been in a gym, you can pretty much tell. Here's the thing. Well, he's speaking from the perspective of someone in the UK. I would imagine if you go into like a Planet Fitness or 24/7 Fitness, you would probably be lucky if you could find someone on steroids. Just because it's not that really type of gym. I would say if if the gym that you go to is at least somewhere like in the intermediate level, and for sure like maybe the hardcore level, even if maybe if it's like a powerlifting gym or something like that, or a specialty gym, then probably your chances are higher. But your chances are probably got to be like extremely low if you're jumping into like a Planet Fitness and you can easily spot the steroid guy. Like, come on.
you're gonna feel indestructible. Who doesn't want to feel like that?
They're very powerful hormones, but with any drugs, there's always payback.
But when there's a drug that does the job, it's a hard argument to say, well, don't use it.
Every time you take this shit, you're risking your fucking life, you know? It's a lottery.
Yeah.
Hell.
Oh, he's doing the gyno surgery from the puffy nipples. The puffy nipples is not a good look on stage. And sometimes when you take the steroids, you get the puffy nipples. And if you got a lot of excess money, or to any degree, you got to engage in some cosmetic surgery to take out the puffy nipples. All right? That's just how it is, man. Oh, bro. Look at this editing. High society.
An estimated 500,000 young men in the UK are addicted to steroids. In fact,
500,000 in the UK on steroids. Well, what's the population? Real quick. Let me see. What's the population of the UK? Estimated. Let me see. Population of the UK. 67 million at mid 2021. So about 500,000. I mean, that ain't nothing. Huh. I mean, I would wonder really what the trend is. Like, has it been going up or has it been going down? I would imagine, if I were to put money on it, it's probably been like trending upwards.
the Class C drug is the second most used drug after cannabis.
Mate, so when you train,
I've never done it.
the pump is unreal.
But
Dang.
steroids come with some
The pump is unreal. Dang.
pretty alarming side effects.
Oh, I remember seeing this shit. Like, what was it? Yeah, Derek Moore plays Board 8. He did a fucking video about this dude. About this dude was like a horrible responder to whatever the fuck he took. And this does not look like acne. This looks like a whole nother thing. Who knows what he took, or maybe he's a horrible responder, or he just had some sort of reaction to it. But this is the fear tactics that you show your kid and you suspect them of taking some shit. This is the scare tactics that you show them. Hey, you know, like how parents back in the day would, if you didn't want your kid to smoke, you show them like pictures of like people with horrible teeth, people with stomas, like x-rays of people's lungs, and you know, it's just crazy shit. Okay, this is just one, like, this obviously this is an outlier example of what could happen, but I would say, at least on social media, you more often than not tend to see glamorization of PEDs and steroids, because you know it's like there's this Joe Schmo dude. Oh, look at my 5-year transformation, and look at my 2-year transformation, look at my 1-year transformation. I was a little skinny dude and now I'm a jack monster now. And you know, you got the whole IFBB and all the competitors, they all got their social medias, you know, they're popping, oh, this is chest day, it's back day. And those type of people, they are already part of the genetic elite when it comes to PED response in the human body. So you combo that with like good genetics and a good PED response, and it's just like it literally stacks. You're just stacking buffs on top of yourself, and that's what is glamorized, or at least that's what I see mostly. Seldom do I ever see, you know, the bad stuff. I mean, yes, I do see it a little bit, but it's not as prevalent as like, oh, I'm Mr. Big Jack guy, this is my chest day, and you know, stuff like that.
Including liver and kidney failure.
We've got a lot of medication for the heart failure and the heart attacks.
As well as mood swings and increased estrogen, which results in men needing breast reduction surgery. I want to take a look inside the steroid epidemic, from the dealers selling it to the young men taking it. Why is a generation of young men getting hooked on roids?
Well, because they see the glamorization of it, they see all the success, the influence, the money, the sponsorships that come along with it. And even if you're not a high level competitor, even if you just look good, then you could be an influencer, and you know, you can just go down that road. All right. I mean, yes, it's a risk. It's a gamble. All right. And it's a gamble that a lot of people tend to take. And it's not just men. It's, you know, women are taking this shit too, man. 100%. Not in the same dosages, but you can kind of tell.
I'm just outside Cardiff in the valleys right now, and we're about to see Tom Powell. If it sounds familiar, it's because he was in season 2 of Love Island. He's been openly taking steroids for a number of years now.
Did you still think there's like bad connotations with steroid use and like the whole stigma of your balls will shrink?
That's not stigma, that's fucking true.
Oh.
Yeah, my balls are tiny.
Yep, that's the thing.
Well, my balls are pretty...
But it makes your dick look big. And last time I checked, women like the big dicks and the tiny nuts, all right? They may say otherwise, but that's what they like.
Smart.
He uses his platform to teach young men how to take them safely. Tom, take me back. What was your physique like before steroids?
Back in school, I was a chubby little kid. So for years I was, till I realized girls don't like fat guys.
When did you start taking steroids?
Oh, it started when in the minor years. It started when he was a youngin'. That's when it always happens with guys. I mean, that's when it happened with me. I remember one instance when I was in like middle school and high school. I would have crushes on girls, but the girls that I would have crushes on, they always hung out in packs. And I think this one time I walked up to a girl, and I forgot what I said exactly. It was something stupid. It was like, "Hey, I don't remember if it was prom time," and I was like asking girls out to like, "You go to prom with me?" I mean, I never even went to my prom, so I don't think it was prom. I think it was just, "Hey, do you want to go get something to eat?" And then all the girls did like turn, like they all did the turn, and then the one girl was like, it gave me the ooh face, and then the friends were just like, they did the accumulated like kind of ooh face, kind of laugh. It was just a weird situation, and yeah, that sucks when you're like a little kid and you don't know better. All right.
5 months after Love Island.
Was being on camera, did that affect how you saw yourself
Yeah, I felt pressure to stay in shape more. It wasn't the reason why I jumped on steroids. It was a contributing factor. Obviously, I wanted to look good all the time because you're constantly in the public eye.
Oh yeah, I mean, who doesn't want to look good fucking all the time? I mean, shit, dude. The chief motivator for me, what in the beginning was Dragon Ball Z. You know, you see fucking Goku shirtless, all battle ridden, shirt off, pants all torn. You see Vegeta armor all like beat the fuck off. You know, his little tight spandex suit is all like ripped off, and then it's like just at chest and abs and arms and running everywhere and fucking Kamehameha blasts and shit. You know, for me it was DBZ. I want to look like those guys. That's fucking awesome. All right, and I would be remiss if I were to say like, ooh, I never like. Anytime I was home alone, I tried to do a fucking Kamehameha blade like by myself when no one's around. All right. So yeah.
Main reason why I went to Love Island is because I wanted to become a sponsored athlete. I met the guys that I wanted to be.
Oh yeah. I mean, he looked pretty good, and then him jumping on a show, that's just a ton of notoriety, ton of influence. You see all these girls surrounding this one good-looking dude. That's a huge W. All right. That's a huge W. Why? Because in normal people's lives, in reality, that is actually not the case of what actually happens. That is simply a fantasy that most men have.
Become, you know, and I asked them straight away, I was like, boys, talk to me about steroids, are you on them? And they said, yeah, you can't get anywhere in this industry without them. You can go into any single gym and buy steroids within 5 minutes of being in there.
That's nuts, man.
They're very, very available.
I would imagine that this is probably a little gym specific. So he's talking from like the UK's perspective. I'll talk from like the US perspective. So in the US, there's a bunch of different gyms, a bunch of different brands, so on and so forth. But you can kind of divide gyms up into like skill levels. So like there's the beginner skill level, which is like a Anytime Fitness or a Planet Fitness, which is even more newbie. So you got like Planet Fitness, most newbie, like entry level. And then you got Anytime Fitness / 24/7 Fitness. And then you have a couple other spin-off gyms, like franchise gyms that are, you know, open 24/7. You get a little key thing to just, you know, beep on the little scanner. And then you have like, you know, those would be like intermediate level gyms. And then to another degree, you would probably have like your Powerhouse, your LA Fitness, your big box, gigantic gyms, like, which is like another peg above. But that intermediate level gym. And then you have like your golds, like, and then you have like your end game, which is like golds type gyms. So I would imagine anything that's not like a Planet Fitness or a 24/7 or an Anytime, and maybe even to some degree those, but not really. It's more you can find the people in like the Gold's gym, the Powerhouse gym, so on and so forth. Those type of gyms, those are where you're gonna find the people that know where the steroid's at. It would be so funny to me if you could find like some dude walking around and like going like gym hopping from Planet Fitness to Planet Fitness to be like, whoa, where's all the newbie kids at? I know they want their steroids. You know, that would be so fucking funny if you could find that guy like going from Planet Fitness to Planet Fitness. But yeah, this is mostly like an intermediate plus level gym thing.
So what's the biggest you've ever got?
120 kilos lean.
Was that like
5-6 years ago when I first started
220
taking
plus
steroids, I wanted to
pounds?
be these, you know, topless influencers that were shredded. I wanted to be that. And now I realized that that was the wrong way to go about it, and that's not what the fitness industry should be. I take TRT now, which is called testosterone replacement therapy. It's a very low level of testosterone. It's not for muscle gains, it's just for replenishment of me. I've actually got a job now, if you want to see it.
Oh, yeah, of course, yeah.
Long-term steroid use impairs your testosterone production, resulting in symptoms like fatigue, anxiety, and low libido. Tom has to take TRT, a prescribed light steroid to help balance his hormones.
Where would you inject it?
today is my bum, unfortunately for you.
I'm here for the ride, let's go.
There's a certain V in your ass where you're not supposed to go. So I'm going to be going around here, wipe the area first.
Yep.
I never thought I'd be staring intently into someone's bum cheeks today, but...
Tap off, push all the air bubbles out. And that's ready to go.
Yeah, you don't want to air embolus.
There we have it. New alcohol wipe.
And yeah, that's probably like a small gauge needle or something like that. Like, I don't know, a 22, a 24 gauge, something very thin.
Wipe all around the area.
And all of this is just like a big risk that these people are taking. There's no real way to figure out whether you're a good responder to steroids and PEDs. I'm sure there's like some way if you take like a blood test or something, there's like certain markers. I mean, I don't know any of that shit, but there's just simply no way really, to my knowledge, that to figure out, oh, if I took steroids, they would work for me. You know, you have to have a combination of good genetics, have like some experience in the gym, have your diet locked down, your sleep locked down, and so on and so forth. You have to have all these other things in line first before you can even think about taking PEDs.
And that is all done.
And that didn't hurt?
At all.
When you first started taking it, what were the side effects?
This is where I was taking tren in my third cycle, so I had a lot. My mood swings were up and down, night terrors, which is horrible dreams every single night. Couldn't keep a hard on.
Damn.
I looked incredible. I looked lean, I was full, you know, it was great, but I felt like death.
You did something mad recently, like you having a surgery and then you live streamed it?
Yeah, I had gyno surgery. Gyno's a bit...
Oh shit. He had the gyno surgery and streamed it? Bruh, UK is built different, dude. Holy crap, man. But yeah, gyno surgery is just something that can happen, but is not absolutely going to happen to every single person. Yeah, sometimes you just develop breast tissue under your pecs, and it gives the appearance of having like man breasts or whatever, and then that's not really a good look. So then if you got the extra money lying around, it's like, oh, might as well get some cosmetic surgery to have all this tissue removed. So it's just another risk that this person took, and in this situation it didn't pan out for him, but he was able to like correct it. But again, it's a gamble.
Build-up of estrogen behind the nipple. I'm estrogen sensitive, so when I was taking steroids, my estrogen built up and stuck behind my nipple basically, and it was causing pain.
Why did you live stream it, bro?
To raise awareness. I know it's a bit crazy. The more people it sees, the more people it reaches, the more people are going to see it and maybe get it checked out. So I thought, yeah, why not go live?
Dang.
I'm trying to enlighten people about the use of steroids. Bodybuilding, they get so shredded, they lose their sex drive, and we, as a community...
Here's the thing. Like, when you like raise awareness of the negatives of the thing, not everybody is going to go through those negatives, or maybe you just have one instance of you showing a singular negative outcome of taking PEDs, where the rest of the time that you were, you know, on social media, there was all this good time. All right. It was like, oh, I'm with all these girls. I look awesome. I'm shredded. I'm jacked. I'm getting everything I want. I'm getting sponsorships. I'm making videos and so on and so forth. I'm on this TV show. There is so much, you know, quote unquote, good stuff to see. And then there's this little tiny piece of a bad thing, which, oh, you might have to get gynecomastia surgery to remove a little bit of breast tissue. And depending on what, depending on what guy you talk to, I would say they would probably take the risk if they could 100% know that was going to happen. Most people, I would say, they would take that risk.
Community epitomise these people with six packs, And actually, these guys are so not healthy. Women lose their periods for life sometimes, not just a couple of weeks, just by doing a couple of bodybuilding shows, and people don't realise this.
Let's say I'm a young person trying to get into the fitness industry and I want to be the next gymfluencer. Would you advise me
Gymfluencer? I didn't even know that was a word.
to take steroids?
Find your own path. I wanted to be in the industry so much. I listened to what anyone else did. Do your own journey.
Thomas suffered numerous side effects from his years of steroid use, including having to do breast reduction surgery as a result of gynecomastia. The surgeon who performed Tom's operation, the self-proclaimed king of gyno, Dr. John, warns that tens of thousands of men are now at risk of needing the surgery due to steroid use.
Oh, dang.
How many gynecomastia surgeries would you say you do in a week due to steroids?
I do about 2 to 3 a day. So if we say half of them are due to steroids, I mean, we're talking about 15 in 5 days, so about 7 or 8 probably from steroid use.
Dang.
But I'm the king of gyno, I mean.
Yeah, this is just the one guy and his numbers. There are probably other doctors like him, probably putting up similar numbers. If he's like maybe like the best guy or whatever, there's probably a good amount of other doctors doing similar surgeries. So you take that also into account.
Dr. John is letting us film his next breast reduction surgery. His patient Grant is already in the waiting room.
Yo, what's up, bro? Oh, I'm all good. How you feeling?
Nervous.
Why are you getting this done?
Like, everyone I speak to, no one notices it on me. But for me, it's a self-confidence thing. I've always had like a little bit of it when I was younger. So as soon as I hit like 16, you get it when like some people hit it through puberty. And then I started using.
I mean, that's what it is. Like, there are a lot of things in social media that are just, there's a lot of things in social media that guys see that are catered towards guys that glorify how a guy should look, wide shoulders, small waist, big legs, big arms, chiseled abs, big juicy chest, and so on and so forth. So to say that women are the only victims of like having this unrealistic body image, there's a lot of men's social media bullshit that is also very unrealistic as well. So, yeah.
Using steroids, and it just kind of never left and just got worse and worse and worse as I got bigger and bigger. But as you're a big lump, you don't really think about it. But if you go into places like Ibiza and Marbella and stuff like that, and you're taking your shirt off and you're surrounded by other people that do steroids that haven't got it, people notice it.
Talk us through your steroid use. When was the first time you started taking it?
18.
18?
Dang.
Yes, I've been on and off it for 10 years. I started going to the gym, seeing nothing. And I was like, do you know what, I'm just going to jump on a course. Took some tablets and started getting bigger and kind of never looked back.
Is it more for fitness or is it more like an aesthetic?
I am so unfit. Honestly, at my biggest, I was about 17 and a half stone. I couldn't walk upstairs.
Bro, what is a fucking stone? How many pounds is a fucking stone? I can barely do kgs to pounds, you multiply by 2.2 and then you're in the ballpark, but what the fuck is a stone?
Like, generally, my breathing was terrible. I was just carrying so much excess weight that I didn't need. It's never about like the fitness, it's about the recovery so I can get bigger and bigger. And when all your mates are sitting at like 70 kilos, you look like the biggest in the group.
Yeah.
And it's nice. It's a nice feeling.
Are you still on steroids right now?
Yeah.
This hasn't stopped you?
Nah. I think the problem is I'm so far into it now. And I wish I'd never started, but now I'm on it, it's too late.
Dr. John is ready for you now.
The retrospect, the regret.
Fam, good luck, my guy.
Later.
Got this, man. Yeah.
How do you feel?
Nervous, currently.
Is it ticklish right now?
No, it's all right at the moment.
This is the stuff that's hanging out, and here's the actual glands one we get.
After applying a local anesthetic, the surgeons have filled Grant's breasts up with a liquid to help with the procedure.
What are the dangers and risks of this operation?
I would think that the most common risk is getting a hematoma. So the body wants to heal it and wants to push blood into your chest. Other risks, nipple inversion, nipple necrosis, but there's different ways.
What the fuck is nipple inversion?
to prevent that. All right, so we're gonna set the vaser now. Melt all the fat, break apart the gland as much as possible.
Next, they're going to extract the fat like they would with liposuction.
So what this does is breaking apart the fat, and
there it is.
Gland inside is partially fat and partially fibrous.
Look at his face.
So we break apart the fatty parts.
Surprised how much fat in there.
Oh, to be fair, I did offer somebody crab if they drink some.
Can we get up into 5 grams? Yeah.
Oh my god. Bro, is he awake for that? There's no way. Look at his face. Look at his face.
That's so fucking painful.
Oh my god. He's fucking awake for this shit. God damn. So the moment you think they got it good over the ocean as far as healthcare goes, just remember, this guy's awake for this shit. You know, he probably was like, can I go to sleep for this? And the doctor was like, yeah, but it'll cost you an arm and a leg. So we could give you some local anesthetic to where it numbs it and you won't feel much, but you'll feel something. That's why he's grimacing in pain. Probably because the good ass fucking anesthetics to put you to sleep and make you forget about the shit probably cost way too much. So he has to deal with just the local anesthetic. Jesus Christ, man.
Fuck.
What?
Oh, wow.
That is fucking horrible.
I never knew this is what a gland looks like.
What the fuck did you think it looks like? It's just like a lump of cells, dude. Oh my god. He's like, get me the fuck out of here. That's kind of surreal to be like, that was me. You know? Like, god dang, dude. That's crazy.
I mean, you can't believe those massive glands came out of Grant's body. Honestly,
Yeah.
if that doesn't put you off taking steroids, I genuinely don't know what will.
Well, here's the thing. So developing gynecomastia is, I don't know what the percent chance is. It's going to vary from person to person. You know, if you look at like the IFBB and all of the tippy top competitors there, granted they're all like genetic outliers, so that's probably not a good example of like a good base of people. But you know, who's to say how many of those guys underwent gynecomastia like removal surgery or whatever? Did every one of them go and have that shit removed, or did none of them go and have that shit removed? And they got the luck of the draw with their genetics, and they never developed that shit. So again, it's just one big gamble, man.
Steroids are illegal to sell in the UK. Where did they come from? I'm in an undisclosed location, and I'm about to meet an international steroid dealer who makes steroids in here.
Oh my god. Bro, is this motherfucking Heisenberg of steroids?
His kitchen.
Yo. Alright, what's going on right now?
So basically, I put a solution of nandrolone or Deca. We've got the raw powder here. Put a couple of chemicals in there, and
bro, you know this dude just bought this white hoodie for the recording. All right, I'd be willing to guess this is not his normal hoodie, and he doesn't have a mask on. You know, maybe he has the gloves on to try to appear like, oh, it's a sterile environment, but no. Look at this dude. He's just walking in, street clothes and all, putting his like ungloved hands on like the counter. Well, you can't see because I'm in the way, but he's got his hand, like ungloved hand on the counter and shit. And you can see like what's up with what's going on with this right here. Look at this. What is this? Like a heater or something? A Bunsen burner or some shit? There's like shit dripping off the side. It's like, how sterile do you think this shit actually is? Like, this guy don't got no hairnet. You know, it's...
I'm just finishing it off with some seed oil. This is the carrier. This is the solution.
Like, how do you get the right ingredients for it?
Well, I mean, if you're buying it, you know, over the internet or even from from your local dealer, you don't know what the fuck you're getting. Especially when you're injecting it straight into your muscle. Has it got hairs in it? Has it got bits of fucking shit floating in it that's going to give you, you know, sepsis?
What's the wildest things that you've heard being put inside steroids then?
Oh, Jesus.
Well, I've seen some very dirty conditions. You know, smoking cigarettes over it, and the ash
Oh, Jesus.
is dropping in, it's not getting filtered. I've seen people have injections and then go bad. They have to have the whole leg cut open and drained. It's fucking risky. It's risky. There's not a lot of people actually making this shit. So the guy in the gym who's telling you, yeah, this is the best gear, how the fuck do they know? Do you know what I mean? Every time you take this shit, you're risking your fucking life, you know? It's a lottery. Unless you're making this yourself or getting it from a pharmaceutical company, you don't know what the fuck's in it.
You're the most honest drug dealer I've ever heard in my life.
Not everybody who makes and sells drugs is trying to kill people and rinse them. Do you know what I mean? I mean...
Yeah. Probably in this guy's head, he's like, yes, I know this is like, I'm doing something bad, but he's probably trying to do it in the most honest way possible. But even he knows the risk and the gamble of it, you know, much the same way like a marijuana dealer is. There's like, it's kind of funny if you can like lump those two together. Like your marijuana dealer, meth dealer, crack dealer, steroid dealer. They're all drug dealers. And there's like, when you say each one, there's a different image that pops up into your head for each one. And that's just funny to me.
You know, it's a gray area, you know what I mean? It's like, yeah, ethical drug dealer.
Yeah.
What would you say is like your demographic?
It breaks my heart to say it, but 16 to 24 year olds.
16?
Just as they like sort of come.
Well, probably doesn't break your heart enough to be like, not selling to them, because hey, 16 to 24-year-old money is just as good as 25-year-old plus money. All right, money's money.
Coming through puberty and this, you know, young guys wanting to just be buff or whatever. If you train properly, diet properly, take this shit, you're gonna feel indestructible. Who doesn't want to feel like that? All of these ingredients, are they like easily sourced? Yeah, easily. The chemicals are just household, everyday items.
Oh, Jesus.
Sourcing the raws, you have to order them from abroad, get them shipped in, and that's the riskiest part if customs sees it. But that's all they'll do. But the risk reward, if you compare it to other drugs, I mean, it's insane the returns you can get. It wouldn't be uncommon for us on a bad month to make 50 grand.
Oh my God, 50K a month off of a batch? Oh my God. Jesus Christ. That's insane, dude.
On a good month, make 100 grand.
On a bad month?
On a bad month, 50K. On a good month, 100K. Holy shit.
50 grand?
So easy. There's filter paper on here, it's just a very fine membrane. If this is not filtered, you are for sure going to have big problems, okay? You're going to have gaping holes in your ass or in your shoulder or whatever with poison coming out. So this step is very important. So
Jesus.
We've got here, finished product. I just do it by eye there, so now you've got your bottle. There it goes on, there you go, okay?
This is nuts.
And if you put a light through it, you should see it's clean, there should be no particles in there. That's a good tip actually. If you do buy gear, get a light on it. If there's shit floating in the gear, don't take it. Don't take it.
Oh my God. I had no idea that was an actual thing. Get the little bottle and shine a light through it. Holy shit. That's fucking crazy.
Cap comes off. There you go. Made in what? 30 minutes? No time at all.
That's crazy.
Powerful shit. It's not to be abused, man. Like.
So, what would you say to any young person who's thinking about taking steroids?
Don't fucking take it. It'll ruin your life. No fuck.
Don't take it, but I'm still gonna make it.
Teenage boy, anywhere in this fucking world needs to be taking anabolic steroids. Unless they've got a real medical issue that, you know, that needs it, you know, like, but, I mean, kids taking fucking trend, come on, man. You're gonna fuck yourself up. You're gonna.
I wonder what specific PEDs that this guy makes. I really doubt that was trend that he made, but, I mean, shit, I don't fucking know.
Fuck yourself up, you're not gonna come back for it, you look like shit, You can't fucking shag your bird. You can't, you know what I mean? You've got no invest in life. You know what I mean? It's like, do you really want it?
Jesus.
Now, John is making 50 to 100,000 pounds a month from making steroids in his kitchen. Who's to say other dealers aren't doing the same thing, but worse? You don't know what they're putting in there just to try and increase profit margins. So a lot of steroids that are available in the market might be unsafe, and it could lead to definitely infections, septicemia, and you might even have limbs removed. It worries me that even the dealer is warning people not to take steroids. But for some athletes competing in the bodybuilding industry, they would argue that taking steroids is a necessity.
Oh yeah. Because the reason it's necessary is because, I mean, it's all competition. That's all it is. It's competition and influence, and it's just, it is what it is, man. You know how like there'll be like a lot of girls doing like adult content, or they'll be doing like, hey, I'm a model, I do maybe OnlyFans or something on something else on the side or whatever, and you could argue that that's like, okay, you're just, you take like some woman and they were just born good looking and they just got the lucky genetics, they look good and they're kind of adventurous, so they'll dip into like this like modeling thing or whatever, and they'll make like a super big bag at the end of the day. And it's like, yeah, there's probably something like that on the guy side, but probably not that much. So guys have to go through this route of beauty. There's like a girl's route of beauty and all the things that you can do with it if you want to monetize it. And then there's like a guy's route of beauty. It'll be some sort of, you're going to end up doing like a competition. You're going to do bodybuilding or, one of the categories in thereof. And you're going to try to get really good in doing that. Or you could take the route of being an influencer. You're just like a big, jacked, shredded dude on, you just make content and then you farm sponsors and so on and so forth. And it's the same thing more or less for both sides.
Okay, every single athlete today, it will be their first time ever on a bodybuilding stage, so we do need to give them lots and lots of support. We have our first athletes ready, I believe.
Oh, dang.
With the bodybuilding community, do you think any of them would have been using steroids in their preparation?
At this particular show, I imagine most people will.
Oh, okay. So is it like an open secret with bodybuilding?
Yeah, so there's two different types of federations. So FitX is a federation that doesn't drug test the athletes. There are certain ones who do, so obviously no one there will be. But at FitX, it's, I imagine, most of, if not everyone.
Oh, okay. So, as you said, no drug testing, probably no stigma towards that.
No, definitely not.
Have you ever tried steroids?
Yeah, I think I was 22 when I started taking it properly.
What's your stance on some of your athletes maybe taking steroids? Do you advise it or not?
It's a good question.
It depends. I'm just gonna answer it for Ryan right here. It depends.
And I feel like it's something that someone needs to come to the conclusion themselves. I'm going to then try best advise you to do it in a safe manner. A lot of men definitely have body dysmorphia and they take the steroids to make themselves feel better, but it ends up having a negative effect.
Have you or anybody else, do you know, are they taking steroids for preparation for this?
I do take steroids.
Oh, you do take steroids?
I do take steroids, yeah. But it's all controlled, it's not abused. I have my bloods taken before and after a course to minimise any risks that they may pose. Would I promote it and advise someone to do it? No, I wouldn't. But for me, I'm competing against others that do it.
Yeah.
You have to stand a chance.
Even the playing field for you.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah, you automatically know, like, if you're going into an organization where it is known that the organization does not do drug tests for their competitors, then yeah, obviously everybody is going to be on the Sazul. All right. So if you want to take, a more, honest route, then go into an organization that does drug tests. And even And even those, it's like there are ways to get around the drug tests. It just depends on how stringent and strict the drug tests are. And I would argue that the orgs that do drug tests are just simply not as big and well known as the ones that don't drug test. So let's say, for example, in America, there's only one organization that I know of for bodybuilding, and it's the IFBB. All right, that's the biggest one, and that's the only one I know. I don't know any of the other organizations. All right, I am just a casual gym enjoyer. All right, and that's it. Now, I would imagine if I wanted to get into like one of these orgs, I would be probably hunting around for, you know, like an org that suited me for like what I wanted to do or whatever. But just if you want the big numbers, the big influence numbers, then you got to enter the competition with the big dudes, with the most well-known org. And that's, for at least America, that's the IFBB. And, you know, IFBB, they don't drug test. So it is what it is, man.
If competitions don't test for steroid use, hence allowing it, those competing often think that they won't stand a chance without it. Since every single user I've spoken to says that they wouldn't advise anyone to take roids, surely they should be banned from competitions altogether. David Crossland, a former steroid-using bodybuilder, has turned his efforts to harm reduction.
So Dave, what do you do nowadays?
Probably the easiest way to describe Eval is a blood testing company for people with alternative lifestyles. It's just about...
Alternative lifestyles? What the fuck does that mean?
Minimizing the harms that people expose them to, be that steroids or be that recreational drugs.
Let's get into your story in particular. You're pretty big.
So steroids, meth, and the crack.
Big lad, I'm telling you, like the biggest guy I've seen so far. How did you first get into using steroids?
I started steroids at 19. I finished steroids at 24, at which point I was very large, not in bad condition, and had the potential to turn pro as a bodybuilder. And then I tore my left pec completely off. That sort of ended that, and then I spiraled into depression. The renal specialist basically says I outgrew my kidney's capability of managing my physique. So I'm stage 4 kidney failure. And that'll never get...
Dang. So this seems to me just like another instance of a person taking steroids at whatever dose, but simply their muscles just outgrow the rest of their organs in their body, is what it seems like to me. And your organs are only so big, and I would imagine your organs can grow a little bit, but if your muscles are simply just outpacing your organs in terms of growth, then it kind of seems like reasonable to think that, oh, your muscles are getting bigger, and then your organs are going to be like, okay, we can take care of it, and then, oh, that's too much, okay, you know, start dumping this, start dumping that, and then so on and so forth. So that, dang.
Get better.
Is it a lot of medication now? Is it like a whole lifestyle change?
No, not really. Not from the kidneys. We've got a lot of medication for the heart failure and the heart attacks, but not from the kidneys.
Jesus.
Heart attacks? Plural heart attacks?
Well, I had a heart attack, an official heart attack, an official myocardial infarction in end of November last year.
Do you know anybody who's died because of steroid usage?
It's difficult to say that someone's died because of steroids. Are there people that have passed that steroids may have played a significant role in it? Yes, without doubt.
Yeah.
You can't OD on steroids. You know what I mean? You can't go and take too many and drop dead.
Yeah.
But your muscles can get too big, your heart can get too big, and then because you have all these oversized organs and muscles, your body starts doing weird-ass things, and then you die from those weird-ass things that your enlarged organs or muscles, you know, just do. So it's like, oh, he's just had his heart was too big. It wasn't steroids, his heart was too big.
It's a time thing. It's a constant abuse situation.
So what advice would you give to an 18-year-old possibly considering taking steroids?
I have people come to me on a weekly basis that I'm telling them they're now testosterone dependent or they're now infertile. And they're shocked by that revelation. You know, there is risk with these drugs. Learn the risks you're taking and then decide if those risks are worth those rewards.
Steroid use is rife in the UK, and it's extremely easy to get your hands on them, trapping men in a cycle that seems hard to break. From what I've learned, a lot of men turn to steroids when they're feeling self-conscious, with social media platforms often perpetuating the narrative, feeding us unrealistic body images. Ironically, the side effects can sometimes make men even more self-conscious, and in some cases, be fatal. There needs to be more education available on the impact steroids can have on men's lives.
I mean, there's so much shit on the internet now, dude. I mean, how much more education do you need? Do you need like a class in like your health I don't know, maybe your health class? You know, there's a section about PED usage. I mean, what else could you possibly, like, the whole thing is like, if you ignore the thing, there's gonna be some chance that you're just simply not gonna know about the thing. So because you don't know about the thing, you're just simply not gonna even like bother to mess with it. But then if you're really truly interested in it, and you know, maybe you've gone through high school, maybe gone through college, depending on what classes you take, and I mean, when I was in school or whatever, I don't remember having any classes or reading any chapters on drugs or PED use or anything like that. I mean, when I was in like middle school, and I don't know, grades 1 through 5 even, there was that DARE program. Like, what was it? It was like something Parents Against Drugs or some shit. I forgot what exactly it was. It was just something against drugs. And it was like, there would be like a police officer. Well, maybe, was it a police officer? There'd be like some like police officer dude. He came in and he had like his little science, you know, cardboard cutout thing. And he like opened it up and he showed us, oh, these are all class 1 drugs. These are all class 2 drugs, and so on and so forth. And they were all like in like little baggies. I don't know if they were real or not. Probably not. Because that'd be kind of weird if you're like a police officer and you're like bringing actual drugs in with like little kids. It's just like, oh, this is just flour, but it's gonna look like Coke. Okay, Coke looks like this, guys. Don't take it. But about that was probably about all the drug education that I had when I was a little kid. It was just a one little I don't know, seminar thing of a police officer coming in, showing me and, you know, all my classmates that, oh, this is all the drugs. Don't take any of this and you'll be fine. I was like, okay. There's not really any in-depth detail about the pros and cons of taking PEDs, because let's say that somebody was willing to take the risk, and maybe they didn't go through the proper like avenues or whatever of like, you know, maybe going to their doctor, maybe getting some blood drawn, taking a blood test, seeing like their I don't know, biological markers and shit like that. And oh, surprise, surprise, you don't have any genetic predispositions to, I don't know, any negative side effects for PEDs. So you're free. You can go and take them. And then the dude goes and takes them, and then all of a sudden, oh, he just blows up on like social media, and it's like, oh man, he was so lucky. All right, that sucks. All right, and then meanwhile, there's gonna be some other kid that goes, maybe he doesn't have a doctor, and he just wants to achieve that same level of, I don't know, social influence or whatever, and it just doesn't work out for him. Because, you know, he wasn't educated.
Because if people are aware of the potential risks, I doubt so many would take them.
They doing some CrossFit workout shit. Yeah.
Work up, bro. I'm tired, man. I want to go to sleep.
Yeah, that CrossFit shit will take the wind out of you. But yeah, I thought that was a good video. I didn't really realize that in the UK that it was like a big thing. I would be curious to see how many people in the US that's a thing for. Because what did he say in the beginning? He said something like what, 500,000 people in the UK of the UK's population is, if it's like 67 million, I think 500,000 are taking steroids just recreationally. I'd be curious to see how, like, what percentage of Americans are recreationally taking steroids. Because what was it? What's like the population in the United States? USA population. 300 million. You know, there's got to be some sort of like correlative percentage. You know, if the UK was what, 500,000, this has to be like, I don't know, maybe like a 1 million or 2 million. I mean, and that's a lot of people, man. Dang. But I don't know. I think this is a good video. It's just, hey, if you want it, risk it. If not, fucking don't do it, man. I don't think it's worth it. I mean, but that's just me. But anyway, good video, Vice. I want to see some more from Vice. They put out a lot of good stuff. So I'll catch you guys on the next one, and until next time, later.